I picked up the new Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Awakening Concealer, and I got mine in the shade 140. If you're interested to see how this concealer works, let's get started. I will try to let you know how this concealer looks at the end of the day. I will take some video in actual natural daylight as well, so you guys can see how it looks outdoors. Okay, so I'm gonna also compare it with some of my favorite concealers. So I'm going to show you how the shade compares to that. I'm going to use today my Makeup by Mario foundation as well. But let's prep the skin. Always important to have good hydrating skin before you go into any of the products, foundation or concealer. So I'm going to go today with my Merit Great Skin Serum and just pump some a little bit. I already have my sunscreen on and my brows done. So I like to do this prepping the skin not for this concealer only. I like to do it for any of my foundations. They all wear better if your skin is nicely prepped and hydrated. And a little bit about my skin. I have more mature and dry skin. I'm a little bit worried. I haven't seen any reviews on this concealer yet, so I wanted to see how it actually works on my skin. So I'm gonna pump a little bit of the foundation. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with this new brush. I have not used it yet. This is the F1 by Makeup by Mario, and let's just spread this foundation on. So I'm gonna try keep it not like right close to my eye, because that way when you have too much product, you'll eventually everything will crease. So I'll give you more information as we get closer to the concealer, but I will put a timestamp down below if you guys are just interested in the concealer part. This foundation is just beautiful, and a little bit goes a long way. So I thought if the foundation is so amazing, to pick up the concealer too and see if it's this nice and glowy and hydrating and natural looking. Okay, and the shade that I have in the foundation is 3W. Let's go in with a beauty sponge. Okay, so a little bit about this concealer. It comes into 22 shades, and this is what the packaging looks like. Very similar to all of his other packaging. It says right here the shade 140. That's the one I picked up. And this retails for $40 Canadian. On the Sephora website, it's considered a liquid formula, long wearing, good for dark circles, natural finish, medium coverage, good for acne and blemishes. It's a pro-performance multi-use concealer that visibly lifts, it blurs and brightens your under eyes and complexion for an awakening appearance. So the coverage is medium. We'll see how it looks. I can't wait. Has a natural finish, and it has the ingredients, the important ingredients in it. It has caffeine, which it visibly reduces the puffiness in your dark circles, and fermented marine microorganisms. It sounds very promising. So let's see. Let's take out this concealer. So here it is. Very similar to the actual foundation, just a mini version. The foundation, it seems like this is glass and this is plastic. So the container is plastic in the concealer. It's shade 140. This is actually made in Canada. It has a 24-month shelf life. And let's open it up. Okay. I like how it has this silver band, just like the actual foundation. And let's see, the doe foot applicator is a very just regular doe foot applicator, nothing special, very thin, small. So let's go ahead and just try this on the skin. Okay, so right away I feel a nice thick consistency. Don't think it has a smell. I do smell something, but nothing perfumey. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It looks hydrating a little bit, thick, but we'll see when we blend it. But let me compare it to some of my favorites. This is the Huda Beauty Fall Filter Concealer in the shade Maringe 2.1. Okay, this is a little bit lighter. Then let's go with the Lancome Teint Idole All Over Concealer in the shade Bis W250. That way this will give you some ideas on what shade to pick. So you can see this is a little bit more on the gray side. Let's go into the Too Faced Born This Way. This is their new concealer in the shade Ethereal. It's the Ethereal Light Concealer in the shade Vanilla Wafer. And I can tell right away which one is more similar to. And this is the Kosas in the shade O2. Okay, so let's go ahead now and try it. And I'm not going to use any powder under the eyes. I haven't seen Mario use any powder when he applies this concealer. Let's try it. So I'm going to do one eye only. And I'm going to put some on the eyelid to see how it... And I'm going to go in with my F1 brush, which is the dual-ended, the other side of that foundation brush we've used. And see... I like to start with a brush and then go with a sponge. I think the shade looks very nice. So I did put a lot of product, more than I normally go into, because I do want to see how this concealer actually looks on my face. So I'm going to go in with a sponge now, just for over that eyelid there, and then I'll continue with this brush. Now, keep in mind that I'm not going to be super picky when it comes to creasing, because every concealer will crease. If you do have any type of lines underneath your eye, what I'm looking for is if it creases right now. Like if I see any type of creasing or any type of dryness, that's what I'm looking for. However, if it does crease by the end of the night, it's just very normal with all of my concealers. Even foundation, if I don't wear concealer, will eventually settle in those lines from smiling, from just wearing it through the day. Okay, so here's a close-up. So this is this side with the concealer. What do you guys think? So what I'm seeing right away is it did provide more coverage. You can see that I brought it a little bit more down here. And there's more coverage than on this side. Also, it's this shade 140. It looks a tiny bit brighter than the actual 3W shade in foundation, which is perfect because that's what I want in a concealer. I want it to brighten and I want it to be able to use it underneath my eyes, not as a foundation. But if I really wanted to use it as a foundation, I still can. So it looks very... Okay, so it has that hydrating appearance. I like it. And so far, I don't feel like it's drying. So I'm going to let you guys decide. So here's a very close-up. So as you can see some nice hydration. I have dry skin and mature skin, so keep that in mind. And you can see very nice hydration underneath my eye. Now, when it comes to creasing, let me check. You can see underneath here my lines, there's a little bit of product, but that's also very normal. So you can see when I touch it, it does leave a mark. So maybe it's just too much product. So those are the things I'm noticing, but it's non-drying. So far I don't see any dryness. It applied very nice, and from afar you can see that it did conceal underneath here. It hid any type of dark circles, and it's brightening. It feels hydrating, but not hydrating to the point where the product moves. So let's go ahead and apply it on this side now. So with this product, a little bit goes a long way because it seems more thicker than the others. So when you apply it, you can see that it looks darker and more yellowy, but when you blend it, it actually looks very nice and brightening. So I do have a feeling that it will eventually end up creasing because all my concealers crease. There's no perfect concealer not to crease. But I'm looking for something that I don't want it to be drying. I don't want it to be yellow. I want it to last, and it's okay if during the day you have to kind of use your finger and tap it in. But yeah, if I suggest, just like with the foundation, don't use as much product as I use. So I'm using a little bit more so that it can show more on camera and you guys can see it. But yeah, you can see how right away the eyes are just brightening, and I suggest to use less than what I did. And if you use less, then you don't have any type of creasing. So yeah, I use a little bit less here, and I can see that there's nothing in my lines. And here, just a little bit I do see in my fine lines, but like I said, that's normal. Use less is more. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply, I don't know, a little bit here, a little bit here, and on the chin. I'm just going to use my sponge because it's faster. But I do love the brightening effect on this product. And I love that it's glowy but not oily and not too glowy. Like, it has the perfect amount of glowiness to it, especially if you have dry skin. This product seems very good for normal and for oily skin. I really don't see a problem if you have oily skin. It's just, it seems like it acts more to perfect your imperfections and to brighten, to lift, exactly like kind of what the description says about this concealer. And yeah, you can use this as a foundation. So on those days that you don't want to use foundation, like I said, don't go too light. So if you want to use it as a foundation, make sure it's similar to your skin tone. So I love this shade because I think I can use this shade to brighten, or if I don't want to use a foundation, I can just dot it all over my face and use it as a foundation. So here's a close-up of what the face looks like. What do you guys think? I think it looks really, really pretty. I'm actually happy with it. I'm so excited. Okay, I was a little bit worried because when I swatched it, it seemed quite thick, and when I put it underneath my eyes. But yeah, it blended beautifully into the skin. So again, don't use too much of it. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the face. And yeah, if you're not interested in the rest of the face, you can guys skip on my next test where I will be testing this outdoors and also kind of at the end of the day to see how it wears. But again, I'm not using any powder underneath my eyes. I usually don't like to put any powder with my concealers underneath my eyes. So for the rest of the face, I'm gonna use my Gucci bronzer, and this is in the shade 02. I'm gonna use my MAC 143S brush and just bronze up the face a little bit. Just add a little bit of color to the face. Wow, this is really beautiful. You can see the concealer now sticking out more. It looks really pretty. I'm going to use a little bit of blush. I'm going to use my Patrick Ta in Do We Know Her, which is this nice peachy shade. And I'm going to use my Makeup by Mario F2 brush and just go into the powder one. Trying not to go too high where the concealer is. Okay, so for my eyes, I'm gonna quickly just add a little bit of a eye primer. And then for my eyes, I'm gonna use the NATASHA DENONA Glam palette and do something very, very simple and fast. I'll go into the shade Blend right here. I really love how she named this ones. Bring you in a little bit closer, so you guys can see what I'm doing on my eyes. I'm gonna go with the shade Center Eyelid right here, which is a nice gold. And I think I'm gonna put this all over the eyelid. Just a transition shade and a nice shimmery shade all over the eyelid. That's pretty. Okay, let's go with inner corner. So I'm gonna use this. Where does it say? Inner corner, this shimmery shade. It actually is called Inner Corner. and just add this sparkle in the inner corner. And let's go in, I think we're missing something, with a flat Moda shader brush and go into outer eyelid, which is this shimmery more gray, because I think we're missing something out here. Want this outer corner to be a little bit darker. So for the bottom lash line, I'm gonna keep it very simple. Probably add my Rare Beauty new eyeliner. This is in the shade True Brown. So like I said, this product is really good to intensify your lash line, but not in the waterline. It seems very waxy, so that's good for this type of eye look. So I do that, and then I'm gonna go in and smudge it. This is like a Moda smudger brush. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly add my mascara, enjoy this intermission, and I will be right back and give you my final thoughts, and we're going to do like a check-in to see how the under eyes look. So I'm going to use my L'Oreal Voluminous Curved Brush Mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's a close-up with the mascara. Everything turned out good. I'm gonna use for my lips my Morphe in the shade Sweet Tea for lining the lips. This is probably my favorite liner from Morphe. And I think I'm gonna top it with my Dior Lip Maximizer in the shade 002, just for that extra shine. Okay, let me give you my final thoughts. I'm gonna keep my hair in. This is what the makeup looks right now. What time is it? So it is 11:21 in the morning, and I am excited how it looks. This looks really, really pretty. Now, it's just while I did my makeup. I have not smiled a lot or laughed a lot throughout the day, so I have not creased my under eyes too much. But let me bring you in close. This is as close as it gets. And this is what this shade 140 looks underneath my eyes. I think it looks really pretty. I have dry under eyes, and I think that the longer this set underneath my eyes, actually the better it looks. I really enjoy how it looks now, even though I've enjoyed it. My first impression was very wow compared to any other of my concealers. This looks even better than when I first applied it. And I do see underneath my eye here, in this bigger line right here, a little bit of settling right there. But that, again, it is because I did apply a more bigger amount. So it's nothing that your finger cannot fix. However, I think that if I were to put powder right now underneath my eyes, that will really make it dry and cakey for me because of my dry skin and my more mature skin. I'm actually loving how this looks. What do you guys think? Like, I will let you guys decide whether you like this product or not. All I can show you is like what I see upon application. I think it's really pretty. The Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Awakening Concealer. It does look very brightening. It does look awakening. It did conceal any type of darkness or shadow that I had underneath my eyes. It is non-drying. You can see how beautiful and still hydrating it looks. Let it, again, my tip is use a little bit less. You can build it up if you want, or if you have like perfect under eye skin. But if you do have any type of lines under the skin, I say just go a little bit and maybe just add in this corner. I usually don't like to apply concealer here, like I said, because throughout the day with any concealer, I've noticed settling in these lines from smiling or squinting in the sun. But for the purpose of the review, I did add here as well. I did like to add in the middle to brighten. You can see how beautiful brightening, and you can still see how shiny the face is, and I mean glowy, not shiny and oily. It looks nice and glowy. So definitely first impression, I recommend this product. Now let's see how this will look in natural light. So I'm in front of a window. I hope you guys can see me because I'm looking at the back camera so I can really see myself. What do you guys think? So this is like right after filming, but I wanted to bring you in natural light and show you how nice and brightening and just beautiful it looks underneath the eyes. I'm really hoping it's going to look like this at the end of the night as well. But like I said, with most of my concealers, you'll eventually see some creasing. But as long as it's non-drying and cakey right away, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now I'm right outdoors, so you can see how the concealer looks. What do you guys think? I think it looks really, really pretty. I love the shade. I love how brightening it is and how hydrating, but not too hydrating where it moves. Like it has that a little bit of a thicker consistency. So yeah, this is like right outside. I hope you guys like it. And this is how it looks like in the house where there's like not much lighting, but just a little bit of shade. Yeah, just want to give you kind of all type of angles on how this concealer looks in every type of lighting. Okay, and then here is what the concealer looks like under regular living room lights, like regular indoor lights. So I hope you guys can tell. It's very, very hard to see because I'm taping with the phone and the back camera, so I can really see myself, but yeah. Okay, so it is 4:44 right now. I can't show you because I'm doing my final check-in on my actual phone. So yeah, this is what the concealer looks like. This is the Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Concealer in the shade 140, and I am loving it. I have not touched up, I have not powdered, but you can see underneath here it barely settled in there. I have not used my finger to pat it in, but yeah, this is a very close-up that you guys can see, and I think it just looks beautiful. The skin looks very hydrating, non-oily, but with this concealer it seems more emollient, and I did have a lot of smile lines today, and also being in the sun I squinted. I went outside, I did some shopping, and that's why you can see right under this eye where we added more concealer than before, just a little bit of settling, nothing too bad that some finger dabbing won't fix. Nothing here. You can see this side is pretty good. It's not as bad as the other one. But like I said, this is not just this concealer. Even if I don't wear concealer and I just wear foundations, sometimes the foundation just settles in those lines after a few hours or at the end of the day. But yeah, this is my final check-in. There's no point. I think that this concealer were much better as the time goes by. It has not settled in any of my fine lines on my forehead, which some concealers do, and I think it just looks beautiful, very youthful, very brightening, non-drying, non-cakey, as much as a concealer can go. I think it's just beautiful. I definitely recommend it. I was definitely worried because it's more of a thicker consistency, so that's why I suggest just go a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, so don't add too much of this product, and you're gonna be amazed. It looks really pretty, so this actually speaks for itself. I'll let you guys make that decision. This is my final check-in. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'm really, really loving this concealer. So I hope you guys really enjoyed my review on this Makeup by Mario. That's it for me today. I will let you make the decision if this is the right product for you or not. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.